Hey guys, tonight we explore the single most terrifying experience in the Imperium. It's not facing a tyrannid swarm or a demonic incursion. It's the cold, creeping realization that the Inquisition has taken an interest in you. You are an Imperial citizen. You are loyal. You say your prayers, you pay your tithes, and you curse the xenos with appropriate fervor. Your life on this unremarkable hive world is a predictable cycle of shift chimes, watery rations, and recycled air. You work your cogitator job in sub-level HAB 7, processing shipping manifests for the orbital defense platforms. It is dull, gray, and most importantly, safe. You are one interchangeable soul among billions, anonymous and secure in your obscurity. That is your armor. That is your faith. Until the day your armor cracks. It starts not with a bolt gun, but with a piece of data. A single, misplaced requisition file. You see it flicker across your terminal. A request for sacred unguents, grade XI, routed to a void ship holding pattern in the outer system. The problem is that grade XI unguents are reserved for the Adeptus Custodes on Terra. They have no business being here. The other problem is that the file is marked for deletion after routing, flagged with a sigil you do not recognize. Your fingers hover over the terminal. This is a mistake. A simple, clerical error. You are supposed to correct errors. You flag the file, append and load citing the anomalous routing and classification, and send it to your supervisor, HAB Prefect Grell. You feel a small smug sense of diligence. You have done your job. You have served the Emperor. You go home. You eat your nutrient paste. You sleep. The next day, HAB Prefect Grell is not at his station. This is unusual. Grell has not missed a shift in 20 years. You ask the worker at the next terminal, a man named Vorl, where Grell is. Vorl just shrugs, his eyes fixed on his own screen. "Transferred," he mutters. "Got a promotion. Lucky bastard." But there was no announcement, no celebratory ration voucher. Just an empty chair where a man used to be. A chill, entirely unrelated to the failing ventilation system, runs down your spine. You focus on your screen. The anomalous file? It's gone. Not just routed, but erased from your terminal's log. It never existed. You try to forget it. It was nothing, a promotion and a data glitch. Such things happen. But as you walk home through the crowded, smog-choked concourse, you feel a prickle on your neck. You glance over your shoulder. The sea of faces is the same as always. Gaunt, tired, anonymous. Yet one face stands out. A man in the rough-spun robes of an off-world pilgrim, his hood drawn low. You've seen him before. Or have you? He's just a face. You keep walking, faster now. The error was nothing. Grell's promotion was normal. You are paranoid. You are safe. You are just one more soul in the hive, and you have done nothing wrong. You spend the next week in a rigid normalcy. You arrive at your shift 2 minutes early. You exceed your quota on the shipping manifests. You join the hymns in the HAB Block Chapel with renewed volume. You are the perfect, loyal citizen. But the feeling remains. The prickle on your neck has become a constant companion. You start noticing things. The voxcaster on your block, usually spouting dull propaganda, seems to crackle with static whenever you pass. The servitor that dispenses your rations pauses for a full second, its optical lens whirring before dropping the gray brick onto your tray. These are malfunctions, coincidences. Your mind is playing tricks on you. It has to be,
because the alternative is unthinkable. One night, you wake up in a cold sweat. You don't know why. The hab is silent, save for the distant groan of machinery. You lie there, heart pounding, straining your ears, and then you hear it. Or rather, you don't hear it. The ever-present hum of the ventilation system, the background noise of your entire life, is silent. The air in your small apartment is thick, dead, and heavy. You hold your breath, and in the absolute, crushing stillness, you hear a single, soft click. It sounds like the activation of a recording device. It comes from the ventilation grill right above your bed.
The hum of the ventilation system clicks back on, startling you so badly you almost cry out. It was a pressure change, a system reset, that's all. You repeat this to yourself until your heart stops trying to beat its way out of your chest. But you don't sleep again that night. You just lie there, staring at the grill, feeling the recycled air wash over you, wondering if it's carrying more than just oxygen. The next day, you are a wreck. Your hands shake as you try to input data. Your supervisor, Grell's replacement, a stern woman you've never seen before who arrived the day after he vanished, eyes you with open distaste. "Subpar, citizen," she snaps, her voice like scraping metal. "Your quota is flagging." You apologize. You blame the rations. You work harder, your eyes stinging from staring at the glowing runes. But your focus is gone. Your attention is fractured, split between the manifests and the room around you. Every time someone walks behind your chair, you flinch. Every unexpected chime from the terminal makes you jump. You have become acutely aware of the patterns of your life, and now you see them breaking. The pilgrim you saw in the concourse, you see him again. He's standing across the plaza from your hab block entrance, motionless, just watching. 2 days later, you see him in the ration line, 3 people behind you. He is no pilgrim. Pilgrims move, they beg, they pray. This man just watches. Your paranoia begins to feed itself. You start to look for them, the watchers, and you find them. A sanitation worker who seems to be sweeping the same patch of corridor every time you pass. A pair of Adeptus Arbites, the local enforcers, standing on a street corner you've never seen them patrol before, their visors turned in your direction. A child, no older than 10, who seems to be playing Emperor's Eye near your hab entrance, but whose gaze lingers on you a moment too long. Are they real? Or are you inventing them? The terror is in the ambiguity. The Inquisition, you've heard, doesn't use shock troops. It uses your neighbors. It uses the delivery man. It uses the child playing in the gutter. It turns your entire world into the wall of a cage. You begin to obsess over the why. What did you do? The file. It must be the file. You saw something you shouldn't have. But what? A shipping error? It's absurd. People make errors like that all the time. Or maybe it wasn't an error. Maybe it was a test, a loyalty test. And by flagging it, you failed. Or by flagging it, you passed, but drew attention you were never meant to have. You analyze every moment of your life. Did you say something heretical in your sleep? Did you fail to show proper reverence during the last Emperor's Day parade? Did you look at a sanctioned psyker with pity instead of disgust? You don't know. And that, you realize, is the true torture. You are being hunted for a crime you cannot name. You have to find out what happened to Grell. If he was promoted, there would be a record. You wait until your shift ends, your stomach churning with a fear so acidic it threatens to overwhelm you. Instead of going to your hab, you detour to the Central Administrative Archive, a place you have no clearance for. You tell the clerk you are processing a backdated commendation for Grell. The clerk, A withered man whose augmentic eye clicks rhythmically, doesn't even look up. He gestures to a public terminal. Your hands are slick with sweat as you key in Grell's identification rune. The system whirs, and then the screen flashes. Access denied. This is impossible. A simple transfer or promotion wouldn't be sealed. You try again. Access denied. File sealed by Ordo-level edict. Ordo-level. Your blood turns to ice. Ordo Hereticus, Ordo Malleus, Ordo Xenos. It doesn't matter which one. An Inquisitor has sealed Grell's file. He wasn't promoted. He was taken. And you were the last person to interact with him. You turn to leave, trying to appear calm, but your legs feel like lead. The clerk is still staring at his desk, but his augmentic eye? It's not clicking anymore. It's stopped, and it's pointed directly at you. You walk out of the archive, forcing yourself not to run. You feel the augmentic eye on your back every step of the way. The cage is no longer just your world. It is now your own mind.
You run. You don't mean to, but the moment you turn the corner from the archive, your legs take over. You plunge into the Hive concourse, shoving your way through the listless crowds, your breath coming in ragged gasps. You are a drop of panicked water disappearing into a stagnant ocean. But you know, with a chilling certainty, that it doesn't matter. They saw you, the clerk, the augmetic eye. They knew you would come. They were waiting for you to confirm your own guilt. And you walked right in and did it. Your attempt to find innocence has become your first irrefutable act of heresy, unsanctioned curiosity. You make it back to your hab block, your lungs burning. You seal the door, leaning against it, your heart hammering a frantic rhythm against your ribs. You are safe. For now. You are in your box, your home. But the silence that greets you is no longer comforting. It's predatory. The ventilation grill above your bed seems to mock you, a silent mouth, an open ear. You realize you can't stay here, but where can you go? You have no family. Your few acquaintances at work are just that, faces you see during shifts. You are utterly, completely alone. This, you realize, is why they chose you. You are a loose thread. No one will miss you. No one will ask where you went. You are the perfect victim, erased before you are even gone. Your panic begins to curdle into a strange, frantic energy. You have to do something. You can't just wait for the knock on the door. You look around your tiny apartment. What here is suspicious? You have a few data slates of approved devotional hymns. You have your work robes. You have nothing. Your life is a monument to unremarkable loyalty. And yet, that very emptiness now feels like an accusation. Why don't you have more? Why no trinkets from a loved one? Why no hidden vices, no smuggled amasec, no contraband imagery? Your perfect, sterile life is in itself an anomaly. It is the life of someone with something to hide. You begin to tear the room apart. You pull the mattress off your cot. You check the lining of your robes. You pry open the panel to the plumbing conduit. You are looking for, you don't even know, a listening device, a hidden pict caster, or maybe you think with a jolt of pure madness, maybe you hid something. Maybe you were a Slaper agent, your own mind wiped, and this whole hunt is just to see if you'll reveal yourself. You find nothing. Nothing but dust and the faint smell of ozone. Your frantic search has accomplished only one thing. You have destroyed your own sanctuary. Your hab, once a refuge, is now just a ransacked cell. The knock on the door comes just after the third shift change chime. It is not the heavy fist of an arbidescent forcer. It is a polite, almost gentle tapping. Tap, tap, tap. You freeze, your blood turning to sludge. You stand in the middle of your ruined room, paralyzed. Tap, tap, tap. The sound is quiet, reasonable. It is infinitely more terrifying than a battering ram. Citizen, we have a few routine questions for your local precinct. It's about a workflow anomaly.
Your cooperation would be most appreciated. Local precinct? Workflow anomaly? The words are so normal, so bureaucratic. They are a lie. You know it. This is not the local precinct. This is them. You edge toward the door, peering through the tiny spy hole. You see two men in the drab, gray uniforms of the Adeptus Arbitus, but they stand too straight. Their uniforms are too clean. And the man between them, he is not an arbitrator. He is older, dressed in a simple dark robe, his face a mask of placid inquiry. He is the one who spoke. He smiles as if he knows you are watching and raises a hand to knock again. You stumble back. Your panic is so absolute it has become a physical weight, crushing your lungs. You look for an escape. The window? It's a sealed plastisteel plate overlooking a 200-meter drop. The ventilation shaft? You'd be trapped in a coffin of metal. There is no escape. The cage is locked.
You don't answer the door. You press yourself into the darkest corner of your hab, holding your breath, praying to an emperor who suddenly feels very, very far away. You pray for them to go away, to decide you aren't home, to move on to the next name on their list. The polite tapping stops. The silence that follows is worse. You count your own frantic heartbeats. 1, 2, 3. Then a soft, metallic hiss. Not from the door. It's from the lock mechanism itself. It's not being broken. It's being opened. The tumblers click, one by one with terrifying precision. They have the master key, or perhaps they don't even need one. The door swings open. The two Arbite's officers fill the doorway, their black visors reflecting the dim light of your ruined room. They don't move. They just stand there, framing the man in the simple robes. He steps inside, his gaze sweeping across the chaos you've created, the overturned mattress, the open panels, the scattered belongings. He doesn't look surprised. He looks satisfied, as if this is exactly what he expected to find. "My," he says, his smooth voice filling the small space. "Such investigative fervor, citizen. Looking for something, or perhaps trying to dispose of it?" I thought I heard rats," you stammer. The lie is pathetic. It hangs in the air between you, a dead thing. The man smiles. It's a thin, bloodless expression that doesn't reach his eyes. His eyes are old, a pale, cold gray, and they seem to see right through your skull. "Rats," he repeats, nodding slowly. "Yes, the hive is full of them. Vermin that chew at the foundations of our great Imperium. They must be rooted out, exposed to the light." He takes another step into the room. The Arbites remain at the door, blocking your only exit. You were at the Central Archive today. You attempted to access the sealed file of Hab Prefect Grell. It is not a question. It is a statement of fact. "He was my supervisor," you protest, your voice cracking. I thought I was concerned. I thought a commendation." The man holds up a hand, and you fall silent instantly. Your concern is noted, as is your sudden interest in files sealed by Ordo-level edict, as is your subsequent panic, your destruction of this room. You are behaving like a very guilty person, citizen. "Guilty of what?" you scream, the words tearing out of you, raw and desperate. "I did nothing. I saw a file, an error. I reported it. What did I do wrong?" The man tilts his head.
considering you like a biologist examining a particularly strange insect. "What indeed?" he murmurs. "Perhaps your crime was diligence. Perhaps it was curiosity. Perhaps it was simply being the cogitator that processed the data point. In the eyes of the Imperium, the distinction is irrelevant. The data was tainted. You touched the taint. Therefore, you are the taint." This is it. The logic is insane. It's the logic of a nightmare. You are guilty because you might be guilty. You are guilty because you were near something guilty. You are guilty because they suspect you are. Your mind snaps. The terror breaks, and something else, something wild and primal, takes its place. You bolt. You dive for the one sliver of a chance you see, the small gap between the robed man and the arbitrator on the left. You slam your shoulder into the officer, trying to spin him off balance. It's like hitting a plasteel wall. The arbitrator doesn't even budge. His gauntleted hand snaps out, grabbing your arm in a grip that sends lightning bolts of pain up to your shoulder. Your bones groan. You are lifted, feet dangling, before being slammed back against the wall of your hab. Your head connects with the bulkhead, and the world explodes in white-hot static. You slump, gasping, the wind knocked out of you. The robed man steps forward, smoothing a wrinkle in his sleeve. "Please," he says, his voice laced with disappointment. "There is no need for such unpleasantness. Your fear is a confession. Your flight is a confession. Your innocence is, frankly, the most suspicious thing about you." He crouches down until his cold, gray eyes are level with yours. "We are going to go for a walk, you and I. We are going to discuss the nature of your diligence, and you are going to tell us everything. Not just about the file, but about Grell, about your dreams, about every shadow you've seen in the last week. You will empty your mind for us, and in exchange, we will grant you the Emperor's peace."
You are hauled to your feet. The Arbites are professionals. Their grip is brutal, efficient, and impersonal. They drag you from your hab out into the corridor. The few neighbors who peek out of their doors slam them shut the moment they see the robed man. No one will help you. No one will even admit they saw you. You are already a ghost. They march you through the hive, not towards the local precinct, but down into the levels you've only heard whispers about. The air grows thicker, warmer, smelling of rust and ancient chemical decay. The Arbite station at the checkpoint doesn't even question the group. They see the robed man, snap to attention, and activate the heavy lift, their eyes fixed firmly on the floor. The system itself is bending to his will. You are taken to a place that doesn't officially exist. It's a gray fortress, windowless and silent, buried deep in the hive's foundations. It is not a prison. Prisons are for criminals. This is a questions facility, a place for taints. You are processed. Your robes are taken. Your name is taken. You are given a rough gray shift and a number. You are no longer a citizen. You are a subject. You are put in a cell. It is perfectly clean. There is no filth. There is only smooth gray plasteel, a dim, sourceless light, and silence. A silence so profound, it screams in your ears, louder than any industrial noise you've ever known. You wait. You don't know for how long. Time ceases to have meaning. There are no shift chimes. The light never changes. They bring nutrient paste, but at irregular intervals, sometimes hours apart, sometimes days. It's another tool to break your mind, to shatter your routines, to make you desperate for any human contact, even if it's his. You try to hold on. You recite the litanies of loyalty. You try to remember the file, Grell, your life. But the memories become slippery, dreamlike. The only reality is the gray cell and the crushing, absolute silence. You think about your crime, the file. What was it? Sacred unguents. You fixate on the word. You whisper it to yourself. Unguents. Grade 11. It becomes your mantra, the one piece of reality you have left. But the more you say it, the more meaningless it becomes. You are trapped in an abstract hell, punished for a reason you can't even articulate. Your mind, desperate for an answer, starts to invent them. Maybe you did steal something. Maybe you are a heretic. Maybe you dreamed of another god and don't remember it. The Inquisition doesn't just hunt you, it makes you hunt yourself. You become your own interrogator. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. I'm always curious to see how far these whispers from the grimdark travel. The door to your cell finally opens. It's not the robed man. It's someone new. A woman, her face a web of augmentic scars, her robes even finer than his. She is accompanied by a different kind of guard, a man in black carapace armor, holding a complex, multi-lensed picture recorder. "Subject," she vasps, "we have designated you as uncooperative." You try to speak, but your throat is raw. I don't... What do you want? That is the problem. You do not know. This suggests your guilt is so deep, it is unknown even to your conscious mind. A latent corruption. She gestures to the picture recorder. We will begin the ablution of the soul. We will find the sin you are hiding even from yourself. This is a new, deeper level of terror. They are not here to ask you questions. They are here to find the answers inside you, whether they exist or not. The man with the camera steps forward, the lens whirring as it focuses on your face. The woman produces a long silver needle. "The Emperor protects," she says, her voice devoid of all meaning. "But first, he must know what he is protecting from." You realize, with dawning, ultimate horror, that they are not going to stop until they find a crime. And if they can't find one, they will happily invent one for you.
The interrogation. No, the ablution is not what you expected. It is not just pain. Pain is crude. The Inquisition is surgical. The woman with the scarred face is a psyker, a sanctioned telepath. You feel her presence in your mind, a cold, metallic intrusion. She doesn't rip through your thoughts. She sifts. She wanders through your memories, your hab block, your dull job, your childhood. She is looking for the shadow, the one dark corner where the heresy festers. She is looking for the
Why?
And as she searches, she brings your fears to the surface. You see Grail's face, not as he was, but melting, his eyes accusing you. You see the pilgrim from the concourse, his face now a skull. You see the augmetic eye of the archive clerk, swelling to fill your vision, a red, unblinking sentinel of your guilt. You scream. You tell her everything. You tell her about the file, about Grell, about the click in the vent, about the watchers you invented. Or did you? You confess your paranoia. You confess your fear. You confess that you don't know what to confess. You empty your mind, just as the robed man predicted, hoping, praying that it will be enough. The telepath withdraws. The cold presence leaves your mind, and the emptiness it leaves behind is a gaping wound. She stands, her scarred face impassive. He knows nothing, she rasps to the man with the pick recorder. The taint is not conscious. It is potential, a vulnerability. You almost weep with relief. I'm innocent, you whisper. I told you, I'm innocent. The robed man is there. You didn't even see him enter. He steps out of the shadows, his cold gray eyes fixed on you. Innocence, he says softly, is not a defense. It is a state of vulnerability, a vessel waiting to be filled by corruption. He gestures, and the two arbites from your hablock enter. They are not here to release you. You have seen an Ordo-level file, however briefly. You have been exposed to a matter of Imperial security. Your supervisor was compromised, and you, by association, are compromised. But I did nothing, you plead, the last of your strength failing. You just said, I'm innocent. The robed man places a hand on your shoulder. The gesture is almost paternal. It is the most terrifying thing you have ever felt. My dear citizen, he says, his voice a sibilant whisper. This is all so tragic. Your innocence is the one thing we cannot cleanse. A guilty man can be redeemed through confession and execution. A heretic can be burned, his soul purified in the Emperor's fire. But an innocent man who has seen too much, who has become a loose thread, you are a risk, a potential, a door left unlocked. He straightens up, his duty done. The taint of potential is the most dangerous of all. We cannot let it fester. He turns to the arbites. Take the subject to the chamber of eternal vigil. You don't know what that means, but you know it is not freedom. You are dragged out, your feet scraping the floor. You are not being executed. You are not being imprisoned. You are being filed away. You are led to a dark chamber, filled with rows and rows of metal alcoves. In each alcove is a figure, wired into a complex machine, eyes vacant, drool trickling from a slack jaw. They are alive, but they are not there. They are servitors, not the mindless, augmented workers, but something else. An engineer approaches, his mechadendrites carrying cables and nutrient drips. Do not be afraid, the robed Inquisitor says, his voice the last thing you hear. Your life is not over. It is repurposed. You will serve the Emperor. Your mind, too dangerous to be free, will be given a new, simple purpose. You will be a cog in the great machine. Your loyalty, which was your undoing, will now be your salvation. You will finally be safe. You will finally be pure. They strap you into the alcove. The engineer brings a sharpened drill bit toward your temple. You close your eyes. You finally understand. You weren't being hunted because you were guilty. You were being hunted because you were you. And in the 41st millennium, that is the only crime that matters. And so you wait in the gray, silent cell of your own mind as the first drill touches your skin. You wonder
in the last fleeting moment of coherent thought, if Grell is here too. You wonder if he, in the end, also understood the impossible, chilling truth. The Inquisition is not a shield against the darkness. It is the darkness. It is the cold, bureaucratic, and patient predator that ensures not that the Imperium is safe, but that it is orderly. And you were just a line of anomalous data, a file that needed to be, and finally will be, deleted.